hello. Good afternoon, Facebook. Good afternoon, IG. Good afternoon. How you guys doing out there? How are you? Beautiful day here in sunny California, you guys. It's a beautiful day. So, anyhow, I'm back here live again from PROBY'S Tax and Accounting Facebook and IG page. Elaine Proby here, live, PROBY'S Tax and Accounting Facebook, IG page. Okay, and we're gonna have some fun today. Hi, Tamika. Hi. Hey, Carla. Thanks for jumping on. Okay. So once again, Elaine Proby here, live from PROBY'S Tax and Accounting Facebook and IG page. You guys hit like and share this video. It's gonna be a lot of great information for your business, you guys. A lot of great information. So you wanna hit like and share this video so everybody can really get a chance to use this information. How you doing, Carla? How are you today? Thanks for jumping on, girl. Thank you. Hi, Took. Hello. How are you doing? All right. So you guys, Elaine Proby here, jumping on once again live from PROBY'S Tax and Accounting Facebook page, you guys. So let everyone knows where you are today. It's going to be some great information that you're going to need for your business. It's going to be very helpful. Trust me, this is going to take you where you want to go, okay? So, you guys, let's get a few more people on here, and then we'll talk about some real good stuff. I'm excited. I'm truly excited. Okay, so, all right. So, let's just get into, just a few topics that we're going to cover today. And then by this time, a lot of people will get on here so they can really take advantage of this information. So today, the key that we're really focusing on, you're blessed. Okay, hope you are doing well. I am. Thank you. Thanks. Hi, Dale. Thank you, Carla. Hi, Dale. Yeah, so the key is we've got this series called How to Stay in Business, okay? How to Stay in Business. Everybody tells you, how to start a business. Hi, Dre. Everybody wants you to know how you can market your business. Everybody's telling you, how to, get all these things going. And, once you do that, what happens, right? You want to also know how to stay in business. You want to make sure that you're doing the right thing so you can remain in business over a period of time so you can be successful, right? Because, the whole idea of going into business is because you have this grand idea that you want to be successful with, right? Okay, so we are going to cover some pointers in how you can stay in business. And most of the things that we're going to talk about today is goal setting, right? Goal setting. So it's like anything else, in your personal life, you got to set goals. And in your business life, you really got to set goals. You really got to set goals because this is a venture that you have mustered up in your mind. You have created all the things that you need to get together to start this business. You have invested a lot of time. You invested a lot of money in it. And some of us make a business plan. Some of us don't. So because some of us may not have got a business plan, we want to talk about ways for you to get around it and still be successful, right? Okay, so today, let's see, let me get back this camera here. All right. My Facebook camera is acting. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. Boop, boop. Okay, we're back. So I'm Elaine Proby, CEO, PROBY'S Tax and Accounting, here in Los Angeles, doing business for over 35 years. We're in the same location for 25 years here on Crenshaw Boulevard, and a lot of you people have been to that location, and we're still there, 3870 Crenshaw Boulevard. And so let's get to some of the things that you need to do to stay in business. And we're going to talk about goal setting today. And this is very exciting because I love this goal setting thing because, it's kind of like the whole map that you're going to work out so you can drive your business to the top, right? You can drive your business to the top. And without having goals, it's not going to help you to generate the energy or even set up the system for you to get to the top, right? So once you have your goals laid out, it gives you something to look forward to. It gives you something to work towards. It energizes you. And so now you just don't wake up, run the business the way you were running them. It gives you a place to go. It tells you, this is where I want to be. This is the goal I've set. This is a time frame. And so we need to do something else to get there. Okay. So we're going to talk about how you evaluate where you are in your business and how you set those goals. And we're not going to discuss a lot on how you can achieve those goals, but we'll talk about what they are, and then maybe in another session we'll talk about how you can achieve those goals, right? Okay, so first of all, I want you guys to take your business, all right, evaluate your business. So you're gonna look at the business and say, okay, what business am I in? All right, what is the purpose? You have to define your business and make sure you're in the right structure for where you are, where you want to operate. Make sure you have a very good idea of what it is that you want to do, because before you set all these goals, you want to make sure this foundation is right first, right? And then, of course, if you don't need to change anything, you're on the right path. You know what business you're in the right structure, you know what you want. Now we're going to set those goals, right? We're going to set the goals that you need so you can help get to where you want to go. Okay, so hey Inez, how are you doing? Thanks for jumping on here today. Okay, so all right, so let's start with you guys. This is, first of all, this is a question and answer today. Okay, so write your question at the bottom of the screen, and then I'll get to them. We'll answer those questions and any business question that you have, because the idea, once again, is to make sure that you guys you stay in business and you're successful at it. Okay, so, and everybody can be successful in their business if they do the right thing. That's it. The business fails because people, one, they don't follow instruction, two, they don't do the right thing, and so this is why a lot of business fails. So let's just follow these instructions, and then of course, if you guys need further, if you need any further guidance, of course we are here to help you with that. You can call us at our office at PROBY'S Tax and Accounting. Okay, so let's talk about one of the pointers or one of the goals that you guys should set in your business. One of the first, there's a few of them. We're going to discuss some of them today, and some of them I feel like is the most important, and then we're going to talk about those. And I want you guys to ask me questions. I want you guys to put your questions with it. Nice. Okay. All right. Okay. So what happened when you start your business, for the most part? Okay, if it's a small business, sometimes you're the only person in it for a while, like I was. I'm gonna give you that story later on. You're the only person in the business, and so because you have this grand idea of getting a lot of business, being very successful, there's gonna come to a point in your business when you're going to have to decide when you need help in your business. Okay, you have to decide when you need help. So that's one of the goals that you have to set. Okay, I have to set a goal and say, okay, I'm going to do all this by myself, but within the first year, within the first 6 months or wherever, I'm going to need some help, right? So I can execute my plan even better. So one of the things is you have to determine and set some goals as to when you feel that you are going to be needing help, so it can help you get to the next level, because you can't do everything yourself. You can start it all, but you can't run it all, right? Okay, so that's one of the things that I want people to pay attention to in your business. Okay, you have to determine when you need help, and you have to be able to get those help. Okay, it took me a while to realize that I needed help. It took me a while to even get the help that I needed, because I didn't have that set up properly. But then, after a while, when I realized that I needed to do that, it took the business to a whole nother level. Okay, so that is the key thing. Determine when you need help. If you maintain the same amount of business, doing everything yourself year after year after year, you're not growing your business. You can't grow the business because you can't do it all, right? You guys got that? All right, any question about that? Any question? All right, so now set some goals as to how you want to increase sales, right? How you want to increase your sales. So you have to, set there's short-term goals and long-term goals. So this determine how you want to increase your sales and when and how soon, right? So you may say in the first year, I'm going to make 100,000. In the second year, I'll make 250,000. And by the fifth year, I'll be making $500,000. Set those goals. And if you set those goals, then you'll be doing stuff to get towards those goals, right? You'll work on that stuff. So what you will do in this case is you're going to take a look at your productivity in your business. You're going to take a look and see how productive is the business. Do I have, all the right tools to be productive? Right? Depending on what business you're in, do you have all the right tools? Do you have a new computer? Do you have new software? If it's retail, do you have a new POS system? Do you have, you just take an evaluation of where you are, and then you set certain goals and say, okay, I don't have this right now, but within the next 90 days, I'm going to have to get certain things for my business so that I can be more productive and so my business can grow. So you have to set those goals and then you work towards those goals, okay? Very, very, very important. All right, so here's a question. Some research shows 90% of black business are sole proprietorship. Should more people be incorporating their business? Okay, I'd say depending on what type of business you're in, then you might want to incorporate it. So if you are, let's say, in a service business, you are, let's say, a business coach, for instance, you may not need to incorporate that business at this point. If you wanted to create, let's say, an entity where now you're going to get associates, or you may have people working for you so you can expand that business, then of course at that point in time you may want to go ahead and incorporate the business. So incorporation, one, it costs more money, okay, and then it costs you 2 tax returns because now it's not just you. And then you have, annual fees, and so it's a little bit more expensive, especially if you're just starting. So I'd say just see what business you're in and then determine whether or not, we can have a consultation meeting about that and see when you should incorporate or if you should incorporate the business. I wouldn't say just incorporate right off the top, but now there's some business that have a lot of liability exposure, right, that I would say go ahead and incorporate them before you even get started, because there's a lot of liability exposures in some business. And especially when you're dealing with the public, you want to make sure that you're covered completely. So I would say before you even start those businesses, you want to incorporate. So hopefully that answers your question. All right. So, okay. So back to the goal setting, all right? So the productivity, again, you want to make sure that you have enough help so that when you ramp up your productivity, you can have enough people to execute. When is the right time to set my business goals? Okay, so business goals, right? So usually what happens is when you start your business, some people have a business plan that they made, and the business plan generally it's in there because you do some projection. First year I'm going to make X amount of dollars, and the second year we're going to double sales. But you can visit your business goals at least, let's see, regularly on, not once a year, but maybe every quarter or every 6 months. You have to be visiting those goals and set those goals on a regular basis as you go along. Don't wait till next year, because there might be some things that you can do differently this year to achieve the goal that you set. You can say between now and the end of the year, between now and the Christmas holidays, between now and next tax season, I'm going to have these goals I'm going to achieve. So there's no such thing as like when is the right time. As you operate your business and as time goes by, you want to constantly evaluate where the business is. You want to constantly take a look and see how well you're doing, and then you want to either set some more goals or shift the goals that you already have, or you want to redefine those goals, okay? Because one thing about the goals, guys, you got to make sure that they are reachable, right? You have to make sure the goals are reachable, and you want to make sure that there's something that is sustainable. So you don't want to set goals that is completely out of reach, that it's going to take you long term. It's going to be 5 years before you can, let's say, have multiple locations of your business. You know what I mean? And then the next thing maybe be in every state. You know what I mean? So goals like that, which is so long term, is not something that you will set in a short term. So make sure that the goals are attainable, make sure they're reachable, and make sure they're, they work for the business that you're in. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, right? All right, guys. So I like the idea of making sure that you know when to get some help, because if you increase your productivity and you've got more sales or more business or more clients than you can handle, right? And you haven't got your help, you can ruin the business right off the top. You can completely ruin the business before you even get going where you want to go, right? So you want to make sure that you get help, increase your productivity, and set the goals in a proper location. Get the help first and then increase the productivity afterwards. Don't do that and then get help, because by that time you probably ruin some good business relationship, and we don't want that to happen, okay? So, all right, any other questions out there? Hi, Linda. Thanks for jumping on. Hello, guys. Okay, this is Elaine Proby from PROBY'S Tax and Accounting, and I'm here to give you guys some good advice, some free advice, some good business consultation you don't have to pay for, and you have an opportunity to ask any question that you would like, and then, of course, if you need further explanation, we could set up a one-on-one consultation for you guys. Okay, I have another question. How should I think about setting financial goals for my business? How should I think about setting financial goals for my business? Okay, financial goals, right? So the financial part, if you want to work from that aspect of things, what you would do is you set some projection in terms of revenue, okay? So by this time you have evaluated your business, right? There are ways that you are going to increase your business. And so you're going to set the goal of saying, I am going to double my sales in 12 months. Or I'm going to triple my sales in 24 months, okay? And in 5 years, I need to exceed $1 million. Or the other way around, you might have one of those businesses where in the first 12 months, based on your business and based on the potential, you are going to make $1 million in 12 months, or you're going to make $1 million in 24 months. So that's how you go about setting the financial goals. Now, once you set that goal, then of course you will have to work on the things that make you get there. Okay. So I hope that answered your question. Hi, Cloud. Hello. Okay. So that's the financial part of it, right? The financial part of it is how much money you plan to make and how you increase sales, and how much of those sales how much increase do you want to see over the next 6 months or 12 months, okay? Or next 5 years for that matter, okay? So you may have a goal where you wanted to have different location in your business. You may want to expand. You may want to go out of state. You may want to even go global. Some business you can go global, especially if you're in manufacturing. So for that, in those businesses, you want to set financial goals so that you can reach them every single year or maybe every 6 months. All right. Does your business help with grant writing for nonprofit? So Carla, no, we don't do grant writing. Ironically, I had a meeting this morning with someone who was introducing his company to me, and they do grant writing. So, and that's the second person that called this week that does grant writing. So I'm getting information on people who do grant writing, guys, so that I can pass those on to you, okay? Because I want to make sure that all the nonprofit can get all the grants is out there. How are you? Okay. Hi, Maria. I'm fine. Okay. Wilford wants to make an appointment with you. All right. I like that. All right. I like that. Tell Wilford, he can call the office, and I'd love to see him. Okay. Perfect. All right. So, yeah, Carla, I have some resources for grant writing because it's very needed. Once you have your nonprofit, you want to make sure that you get the grants so that you can set those goals that you have set, and you can achieve those goals, but you need the funds to do them when you are in a nonprofit capacity because it's nothing you're selling. So you need grants so you can achieve the goals that you have for your nonprofit business. So that's a very good question, okay? So, all right, guys. So then the other part of the goal setting is you want to make sure that you have when you visit your business profile and all the things that you, awesome, thank you. All the things that you have set up for your business, you want to make sure that you have within your whole structure of really expanding your business, because the whole idea here is for you to expand the business, for it to grow, right? And that's why these goals are there, and it keeps driving you to the top, right? So you want to make sure that you visit customer service, okay? You want to make sure that you have a great team that is rendering great customer service. Now, your goal is to make sure that your customers, clients are all satisfied at all times, right? That is one of the goals that your company is going to, the reputation of your company is going to rely on how well you treat your customers, how well you treat your clients, right? So your goal is to make sure that your staff, make sure that your employees, make sure that everyone is treating your customers, your clients well. And so you have to visit that on a regular basis. I know someone asked me over here how often you set goals. When it comes to that, you have to visit that maybe every month. Maybe every month you have to see if you're meeting those goals. You have all these bars that you set, these check marks. How have we done? Did we treat everybody right? Did we have any complaints? You know, did we take care of the complaints properly? Did we get back to the customer? Did we get back to the client? So you are going to be doing those check marks to make sure that you are reaching those goals. You want to be at the top maximum capacity of the goal that you have set. What are some of the action help to achieve my goal? What are some of the my goal? Okay. All right, so tell me which one in particular as far that you're discussing there, because there's, you know, we're discussing several goals, and idea of getting to the top, the idea of being very successful is to set several goals that you are planning to achieve. Put a time frame on it. Okay, the time frame is essential. Because if you don't put a time frame on it, then you figure that you have all year to do something, but that's not the whole point. Because if you're trying to run $1 million company in 1 or 2 or 3 years, then of course you're gonna have to have a time frame and the things that you're gonna have to do and the steps that you got to make. Okay, so so as I go along and mention some of these goals, though, I would just mention some of the things that you can do to set those goals and action that you can take. Okay. So I'll mention some of the action you can take based on some of these goals that we're talking about. All right, any other question out there? Let's see. How have you kept clients for so many years? All right, good question. How have you kept clients for so many years? Okay, so keeping clients for so many years, guys, and since this is how to stay in business, right? This is how you stay in business. This means that you got to retain your customers. And this means you got to retain your clients, right? And a part of that is about the, first of all, the communication. You know, the service got to be great, but the communication with the customers, the communication with the client has to be good. It has to be clear. It has to be caring. You know, you have to make sure that, you know, you understand their needs. And then you obviously got to make sure that you can service those needs, right? So you have to know what their need is. And then you need to know how to service those needs. You need to know how to service those needs. And once you're able to do that, then that's how you maintain customers for all these years, right? So I had a client came to my desk one day, and you know, she said something that I had to record like 2 times because I thought it was really cute. And she says, people don't care what you know until they know how much you care, right? And so it was something that I'm sure it's been out there because everything has been out there, but I just had never heard it before. And I said, repeat that, let me, you know, record that. But it says people don't care how much you know. So it doesn't matter if I'm in business for 35 years and I know all this stuff. They need to know how much you care about them and their needs, right? So that's how I kept my business open for 35 years. One of the reasons. All right, can you touch a little bit on the form for the first time workers filling out the acceptance package? Explain the difference. Okay, what package is that? Can you touch on a little bit on the form for the first time workers filling out the acceptance package? Is that the form like the W-4? You can put a little bit more on there because I can't see the rest of the more. It says see more, but I can't see the see more part. So let me know what form that is when you said first time workers filling out the package. I'm not sure if that's the new employee package, the W-4 package. Put that on there and let me see if that's what it is, and I can tell you about that, okay? All right, so come back with that one and let me know which one of the package, if it's the new employee package. What are some of the steps? Okay, all right. So, so you guys, one, make sure that you know, all right, that you are in the right place. Make sure that you are in the right business. Make sure you're in the right business for what's going on. Make sure you don't need to make a shift. Before you start evaluating these goals and reset them, make sure you're in the right place, okay? Evaluate your business. Make sure that everything that you're doing right now, you don't need to make a change. You don't need to make a change. You're in the right business for what it is that you want to do, for what it is that your vision is, and for where you see you being very successful at. Once you know this for a fact, then of course you have all those goals, and then you try to achieve them, and before you know it, you know, you have accomplished all the mission that you set out to. Let's see, rest of image when can exempt and how long? who can they, when can you go exempt and for how long? Okay, if that has to do with payroll, guys, it looks like it's how, if you go exempt and for how long. All right, let me just touch on that. Let me touch on that real fast. I think this question is saying, can you go exempt and for how long? Yes, the other one is talking about the W-2 package, the W-2 1099 for employees package. All right, so these two questions are similar related. So let me just say real quick about these two questions right here. Okay, one is asking about the W-2 package, the new employee package. And so the new employee package, once you get hired somewhere, or, you know, for instance, you guys have your business, when you hire someone, then they fill out, you know, all the personal data and all that other good stuff. And then for tax purposes, which is one of the key forms they got to fill out, and I think that's what they're asking over here, is the W-4, okay? That W-4 form is the form that is used so that you as the employer, now this is their business, you're running the business, you as the employer know how much taxes is going to be taken out of that person's paycheck, right? So the W-4 form will tell you the person's marital status, whether they're single, whether they're married filing a joint return, whether they're married filing separate return, whether they're head of household. So they're based on their filing status, based on the number of exemption that they have, number of dependents, or it doesn't have to be a dependent child, it could be a dependent parent, it could be a dependent relative, the number of dependent, based on what that number is. The new employee package with the W-4, you will put how much exemption is on there, and this will let the employer, or like you as a business person, you know, when you do their payroll, you know how much money to take out for taxes. So that's for the new employee package. The question over here is, how long can you go exempt? Okay, all right. This can be use exempt and how long? Okay, so the exempt situation as an employee, guys, is not my favorite thing, right? Too many people get in tax problem going exempt. So what they do is they fill out that employee package, they fill out that W-4, they go exempt. Exempt means, this is what exempt means. Exempt means that you will not have a tax liability. It means that the year before when you file, you didn't owe any taxes, you didn't have a tax liability. And so this year, based on the amount of money that you make, you will not have a tax liability, right? That's what exempt is. So if you don't have a tax liability, you could go exempt. They don't have to take out any taxes out of your check because you are not going to have a tax liability. Now, how do you know you're not going to have a tax liability? Okay. That depends on, one, how much money are you making, right? What's your status, right? So if you're a full-time student and you're just working, let's say in the office, not making that much money, you probably won't even make enough money to even have a filing requirement. You won't even have a tax liability, of course. You can go exempt because you won't even be in the bracket to file, right? So, but for those of you who are making money and who have filed taxes and who may owe or may not have owed, but they had to pay in just enough taxes, exempt is not what you do, right? Too many people come across my desk with a tax problem that have just grown over the years because of this exempt stuff, right? So there's no such thing as I'm going to go exempt for 6 months and then I'm going to have taxes that come out for 6 months, because what happens is you're short. If you are in a 10 or 15% tax bracket and you made $50,000 and you haven't even paid in $5,000 over the year, over the 12 months, and then let's say you took 6 months and go exempt, never paid anything in, when you get to the end, you're short. You're halfway short of the taxes you have to pay in. Now when you file, you got to pay that money back. You got to pay late payment penalty on that money you haven't paid in. So it's just not a good idea. It's just not a good idea, okay? I tell my clients all the time, do not go exempt if you are not supposed to be exempt, okay? So you just adjust your exemption, adjust your dependent, adjust your filing status if it changed, if you're no longer head of household because you have no more kids at home or no other dependents at home, you may need to adjust that. So once you make that adjustment, okay, and then you're paying your little bit of taxes every month, after every paycheck, you will be fine. So yeah, so there's no such thing as how long you go exempt. I know there's this thing, I've heard it for years, oh, you do exempt for 6 months and then you pay taxes for 6 months, you know, but it never worked. When they come to my desk, I look at the W-2 and I'm thinking, you did not pay enough in, what did you do? You went exempt. Okay, yes, I did, and you know, it's always a problem. All right, Any more questions? Any more? I hope that answered your question over here. I hope that answered your question too with the W-2 package. All right. So very real. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for jumping on. Okay. So, guys, let's get back to some of the goals. Anything else about the goals? Okay. Anything else about the goals? So now, because we are here, Elaine Proby, once again from PROBY'S Tax and Accounting, for those of us who just joined, and I own and operate a financial service business here in Los Angeles for over 35 years. And over the years, of course, I've seen it all. I've helped a lot of people make a lot of money. I've helped people make millions of dollars. I've seen million-dollar companies go out of business, not doing the right thing. And so I've seen so much over the years that I just want to share a lot of this stuff with you and hope that you guys take heed on some of the information and then just follow through, because the whole point that you came up with this idea of being in your running your own business is so you could be successful, right? So you could be successful at it. And we need to follow those steps to do that. Do I need to consider taxes when setting goals for the business? Yeah, I say you need to consider taxes when setting goals for the business. We're going to touch on part of the strategy in terms of increasing revenue, right? So I need to consider taxes, right? So as your revenue increase, because your goal is to grow your business, is to take your business to the next level, and as your business increase, of course, you are going to need to pay more taxes. So you're going to want to increase your taxes while you while you set those goals. So yeah, that is a good question. Okay. So you need to consider the taxes, because the point is you're going to grow the business to make a lot of money, right? So so another thing about goals, what you guys would want to talk about, what you wanted to think about setting goals for the business is when you get to a point where you have now set up, you have your business all set up, you have the hired help, you have figured how to service your customers, how to service your client base. You want to make sure your communication there is right. And then, of course, you want to make sure that the people that you hired, the next thing is you got to have good employees. You have to treat them right so that they can treat your customers right, so they're going to treat your clients right. Okay, so you have to have a healthy environment for your employees to operate in, because that is part of what drive your business to the next level, right? More customers, that will drive your business to the next level. And then, of course, you get into considering all of your tax issues as your tax liabilities as you grow. You don't want to wake up at the end of the year and make $2 million and then no estimated taxes paid in, and you got to send a $50,000 or $60,000 check. All right, so there's a question. Self-employment. Is there any assistance for Is there any more assistance for self-employment? Very real. If you're speaking of the assistance from the unemployment department, I'm not sure. Write that on there and let me know if that's what it is. For the self-employed people, if it's the assistance from the unemployment department, the $600 that the government have put in the CARES Act will end at the end of July. Until they, of course, come up with the second bill, and then they'll extend that a little bit. So if that's your question, then that's what's going on there. If not, then just put something else in there and I'll answer that for you. Is it better to put people hire as employees or contractors, and can I start them as contractors and switch them to employees, and or vice versa? Okay, so this is a story about employees and contractors. Okay, in your business, guys, what you have to do is you can start by hiring contractors if your business calls for the type of services that they do, those contractors do, that is not specifically what your business is providing. What I mean by that is, okay, so if you're in some type of service business that has nothing to do with a consultant that's maybe say setting up your website, setting up your marketing, setting up all that stuff, but you're hiring them to work with you so you can improve on your business, then you wouldn't hire them as an employee. They could be considered a contractor, because there's a fine line between an employee and an independent contractor, right? So if you regulate when these people who work for you, if you regulate when they come, when they go, do they punch the clock, Do they have to be there on Monday at 8? Do they have to leave at 5? Do they have to come? If you regulate when they come, when they go, they're using your equipment, they're doing all this stuff, then they have to be an employee. So you don't really have a choice to make them an independent contractor or an employee and then, you know, turn around and either make them an employee or, no, you don't have a choice in that matter, because the employment regulates whether or not these people are considered an employee or whether or not they're independent contractor. So if they're independent, they run their own business, they can work for anybody they want to work for. You can't regulate what that person does. You can't regulate when they go, when they come. They can have any number of jobs. They can have any number of clients, and they're considered independent contractor at that point. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay, good question over here. Good question. Thank you. So yeah, so very real. If you have more on that question, let me know what that is, and if not, I'll move on to some of the other goals that you guys can set. Okay, so someone asked earlier about financial, right? So one of the goals that you have to set in your business, you have to set your financial goal. It's considered the health of the business, and you have to make sure that you you know, set the goal as to where you want to be in the business, because you won't be driven, you won't even be motivated, you won't even be motivated on a daily basis to get up and run your business if you don't have a financial goal. I mean, you look at your books and you say, okay, I made $100,000, but I need to double this. So that drives you to move to the next level, and then you take care of all the steps that you have to get to that point, right? And so you have to know what monies come in, you have to know what goes out, you have to know where you are. So you have to have good financial records. You have to have good financial records. And so your goal is to look at your finances on a regular basis. Some people do it monthly, some people do it quarterly. So one goal financially you must set is review your financial condition. See where you are, okay? It's going to determine what and how fast you need to do something. It's going to determine if you need to spend more money on marketing. It's going to determine, you know, where you need to cut back at. It's going to determine a lot of stuff. So you want to do a financial outlook, maybe monthly or quarterly, okay? So that you can set the goal as to where you want to be financially in the next 6 months or the next 12 months, right? So that is reviewing your financial records, set a budget. Marketing is special. Once you review your budget, you know that within the numbers, then you're good. You're achieving, and you're spending, and you're making sure that your business stays financially healthy. Okay? So grow, you have to have your finances in order. Right? So any other questions out there? This is great. I'm having a good time, you guys. Ain't Proby here, Proby Tax and Accounting. We're having a whole lot of fun today. I'm getting a lot of great questions. You guys hit like and share this video. Make sure that all your friends come in here, all your business partners come in, because this is very good information for free. Normally, people will pay to come and sit at the desk and ask me this question, ask me what they need to do, and they would pay for this information. But now, for the community to give back in these times, I want nothing but to see everybody succeed. Let's see, there's a question over here. Ida, hey, you are informative. All right, I prefer listening to you than news. This is a good one. She said, I prefer listening to you than the news. Maybe I should do the news. I like that. Thank you, Ida. Thank you. All right, you know, I mean, this is super serious stuff. Of course, business is very serious. And that's what we're doing. But I don't believe that anything should be so, you know, so rigid where it really, you know, it's a little complicated, right? So my idea is just to simplify it, right? So talk about the goals for your business that will help you to be more successful. And you need to go, one thing you need to do is evaluate your paperless capacity in your business and see if in fact that's something that you wanted to work on. And you could say, like, maybe within the next 6 months or the next 12 months we're going to go paperless, right? So breaking up is on my phone. I'm okay. I hope everybody is hearing me very well. Okay, so going paperless, right? And I'm going to tell you about that paperless goal that you want to set for business. So to kind of phase out a little bit and go paperless in your business, right? So what I find is that it makes everything more efficient. You run your business more efficiently if you go paperless, right? And so this way, you have to set a goal as to when you're going to do that and how you're going to do that, and make sure that you do that, because it works so much better, so much smoother. The business becomes a lot easier to navigate. It's easier to take a snapshot of where everything is. So that's another good goal to set for your business, guys. Once those of you who's been in business for a while, and those of you who have just started your business, think on that process, because you don't want to start piling up a whole lot of paper. I can hear you. Okay, great. So yeah, think about, set a goal of going paperless. Say, by the top of next year, we're gonna run a lot of stuff paperless. So you want to do that. That's another good goal to set, because I'm telling you, the efficiency that you're going to get in your business by doing that is just unbelievable compared to just doing everything by paper. When you're not having to go to a drawer and you're not having to pull files out if you're running an office, right? If you have inventory, you're not having to go back to the purchase receipts to see how much merchandise you bought from a certain vendor. If you're not having to go look for all of the physical documents, right? If you're not having to do that, you save so much time. So your business become more efficient. Productivity is great. You make a whole lot more money, and it allows you to grow easier. It allows you to grow much faster. Okay. Any questions on that? Do I need to include myself as an employee when making my financial goal? And when do I know I should be on payroll as a business owner? Okay, so when do you know you should be on payroll as the business owner? Now, if you incorporate, you already an employee. Whether you have money to pay yourself or not, but you are already an employee. Now, if you don't have any money to pay the payroll, then of course, maybe you can write a check. Some business owners write the check and then they don't cash it. But you are an employee from the time you incorporated your business, okay? So that's when you go on payroll, but of course you need to have the funds to cover those checks. By you being the owner, you're gonna make sure that all your other employees are paid first, and then of course you pay yourself last, right? That's what we wanna do. But yeah, you are already an employee once you incorporated your business. Financial goal, okay. When making my financial goal, yeah. Okay, so I hope that answered your question over there. You're already an employee. When you set up your business, set up your corporation, you are an employee of it, right? That's a different entity. You're a different entity. You work for it. You're employed by your company, all right? Okay, so let's see. Is there any other goals that any other questions you guys have out there that we need to cover? Any other questions regarding this stuff? Let's see. Okay, all right, okay. Now, another major goal that you guys want to set, right? You want to look at your marketing. You want to look at your marketing strategy. You want to make sure that it is working for you. You want to evaluate it. And you want to do this on a regular basis. You do not want to wait until the end of the year or the end of, say, 6 months. You want to keep track of your marketing, and you want to set a goal and say, okay, we're going to try this marketing thing for, say, 6 months. So you set that goal. 6 months, we're going to do it this way. And then you want to take the time out to evaluate that. Is it working? Are you reaching the right audience, right? Are you getting to the right clientele? So you want to set the goal. Then before you get there, you want to take a look at it. And once you get there, you really want to sit down and see, did it work? If it didn't work, then of course you want to change that strategy and come up with a whole nother marketing strategy. Okay, so this is the reason why you set these goals, because you have to set a time frame and you have to evaluate it. You have to look at it and you have to see if it's working for you, right? So remember now, we want to stay in business and we don't want to wait to the end and then look back and be like, it's too late to fix anything. It's too late. You've already spent so much money that you can't even recover. This is not what you want to do. If you stay on it as you go along, it's like your taxes, if you pay in on it as you go along, anything that if you take care of it as you go along, right, it does not become such a problem at the end. So this is what we want to do, and this is how you stay in business. Okay, so So you want to take a look at your marketing, and then of course, if it does not work for you, you want to strategize how to make it work for you. You want to take a look at, let's say, maybe your website. Someone asked a question earlier, but setting these goals, what are some of the ways to correct them? So let's see. Hi, Bernie, do you think it's worth trying to pay some influencers to help promote on social media? Okay. Paying influencers to help promote on social media, that can be good, and then of course it might not be as effective. But what you want to do in that case, Bernie, you want to make sure that the influencer is the audience that they have is your audience, okay? You want to make sure that the people who are following these influencers, you want to make sure the people who are following them, the people who are watching, and who they're 5 or 10 million followers. You want to make sure that what they are providing to them and what these people are getting from them is in the line of what you're doing. For instance, if you're not in fashion and this is an influencer who all the people are in fashion and you're doing something else, let's say you're doing music and their followers are not into that, then of course you want to make sure that that's not the one for you, okay? So if you find an influencer who has an audience, that the audience is in the field of what it is that you are selling, what it is that you are offering, then it's not a bad idea to do. It's not a bad idea, okay? So, and that's a very good question, because I have so many clients, and I have clients who are all influencers as well. And the thing I like about some of them are they're just being honest. If you want to promote something, as they say, look, that's not my audience. My audience, that's not what I do. I'm a comedian, and these people come over here to see comedy. They follow me for comedy. So let me point you in the direction of someone that does what you do, and their audience is what you do. So that's what you just investigate, follow them, see what the audience is, Burn, before you make that move. And then if you're in the right audience in the right lane, then yeah, it's not a bad idea. Okay. All right. And he mentioned social media, because speaking of social media, when we're talking about this marketing, I was going to also mention that one of the goals that you're going to set is when you look and see if your marketing is being effective, right? You want to take a look at your website. You want to take a look at your social media presence. You want to make sure that you have good contents. And if you don't, then you want to set some goals to correct those things, right? Maybe your budget don't allow for it to go into effect right now, but of course you want to set those goals and say, okay, within 6 months I have to do something about my website, or I have to try to do it now, or I need to get some funding to do it right now. Hi, Raquel. Thanks for jumping on. Okay. Thanks, Bernie. I hope that helped you out. Any other questions, let me know, okay? Good. All right, so you may think that maybe you don't have enough money to do that, but the driving force of your business is getting new clients, is getting new customers, right? So you will have to find revenue, or you will have to find some type of cash injection maybe to improve on the marketing budget, improve on your social media presence, improve on your contents, right? Improve on your website. And so that's a part of the goals that you must set, you guys, and you have to visit those things on a regular basis so you know if you need to change anything. All right. Hello. All right. Hey, Gaynor. Thanks for jumping on. Okay. So you guys, so that's a part about setting goals, marketing. Once again, for the new people, I'm Elaine Proby, CEO of PROBY'S Tax and Accounting here in Los Angeles. In business for over 35 years, guys. So this is why I'm here, letting you people know that you can also stay in business. You can have longevity, certain things you must follow, and you can become very successful by no matter what business you're in, as long as you take certain steps, set certain goals, and try to achieve those goals. Okay. So you can find us here on Crenshaw. The number to reach us is at 323-290-9034, or go to our website at probiztax.com. If you have any more questions or confused about any of this stuff, you guys, you can call us. There's a 15-minute free consultation that you can get. So today is free, and then you have 15 minutes free consultation that you can still get if you need more information or more clarity on any of this stuff, okay? So give us a call, PROBY'S Tax and Accounting. Any other question you guys have, put at the bottom. I will come back through here at the end of this live and answer those questions, okay? So you can still go ahead and put your questions in the bottom if I missed anything, right? So I think we covered a lot of the goals that, you know, are the most common one that people really should set and focus on. All right, so let's just run over a few of them. First of all, you want to evaluate your business. Make sure you're in the right business structure, or make sure you're doing the right thing that you want to sell, the right services that you want to offer. So once you know that that's what the case is, okay, so then you start working on when you are going to increase your business, as far as what your goal is for revenue, you know, where you want your revenue to be in 6 months, where you want it to be in 12, how you're going to get there, how you're going to hire assistants to help you out to get there, okay, how you're going to increase your market, how you're going to increase your market. If you don't do that, of course, you know, you're going to miss a lot of good clients, because you don't have help. I need to get some power up in here, so give me a second. Let me put some power on this. All right. So we are a little powerless on this side. 1 second over here. Let's get some power on this computer. The phones go out really fast. All right. So 1 second, guys. I'll be right with you. So you guys, while I'm doing this, think about your questions. Now, I'm sure that there's got to be some more questions that you guys have out there that I'm not getting. So think about some more questions that you got to ask. This is the time to do it. It's all free. Okay, so let's go for those goals now. Make sure that you set these goals, and that you are going to follow them, and you're going to visit them on a regular basis, right? You're going to visit them, and then, of course, it's okay to change something. If you set the marketing goal and it's not working, then you can change it, okay? Go paperless. Determine whether or not you want to open a second location in your business. Once you reach a certain goal, you can say, okay, great, this is working for me. This structure is working. You know, all my goals are being met. I'm servicing my clients. I'm servicing all my customers. And so now I can set another goal in the next 2 years. We're going to open some more location, and we're going to make a whole lot more money, right? So I hope that helped. I don't want to get into too much more of this, because I want you guys to start off, and maybe you could start off by setting 5 goals that you want to achieve within the next 6 months, right? Within the next 6 months, write down 5 goals that you want to achieve in your business. And then I want you guys to put that down, and then I want you guys to visit the goals in 3 months from now and see what it is that you are missing, see what it is that you're not doing to achieve those goals, and if you are, then see how you can improve on it. And then I want you to look back and see what you have done to accomplish those goals, right? So is that fair? Is that fair? Okay. And then you guys can come back on here and tell me what happened, and that'll be great. And if you need any help with it, give us a call. All right. So we have a question over here. I have 101 questions, but I have always been shy to raise my and okay, yeah. So he said he always have 101 questions, but he's been shy to raise their hands in class. Okay, a lot of people is that, you know, I was one of those people. You know, it seemed like, you know, I might say a whole lot, but I was one of those people who would sit in class and I would not ask a question. I would listen to all the other questions, and then I try to learn from what they're asking, but I would never ask a question. I tried to find answers by myself before I asked a question, you know. But now, because you have people like myself and other people out there who have done a lot of what they do and are expert at what they've done over the years, you know, you don't have to do a lot of researching. You can ask the questions and we give you answers. So it makes it a lot easier, right? So I was just like you back in the days. All right, you guys, I think, you know, we covered a lot of the goals, marketing. We covered a lot about employee incentive. You know, do some more networking. You know what I mean? So you could get connected with people that can, you know, can motivate you, and, you know, to reach your goals, and people that can inspire you and you know, help you get there, because it's the whole plan is to be successful, right? That's what we want to do. We want to be successful in business, and you guys can do that. So any other questions? All right, I think we're good. BZ Wood, thanks for jumping on. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. I don't know if we have forgotten anything else, but I am enjoying this. I love the fact that people have a lot of questions. And once again, I want you guys to know that the whole point of this is to make sure that you become successful, stay in business, make a lot of money. I think there's another thing over here. My live goal is a bigger audience and more people. Okay. When is the next class? All right, I'm glad you called us a class. This is great. The next one is going to be next Thursday at 1 p.m., guys. Next Thursday at 1 p.m. We'll be back with some more great business information, how you stay in business, and, you know, some of the things that you need to do that, you know, will help you along the way. The whole thing is we all need to be motivated. We all need to be motivated. Every day you get up and stuff like that, you don't want to be doing the same thing, and that's why I like the goal setting thing, because once you set the goals, you get up and you look at goal number 1. What am I doing? Am I doing achieving goal number 1? What am I doing to achieve goal number 2? What am I doing to achieve the next goal? This will drive you and keep you motivated. You can motivate your staff. You can motivate all the people around you. And with that said, you'll bring more customers in and you'll bring more client in. And of course, your business will survive, right? Okay, it's great. I will not be late. Okay, so you can always go back and look at the video, though. If you missed something, guys, you can always go back and look at the video, okay? All right, so I think we have covered more stuff, you know, and we'll be back next week for some more information, great information in your business. And I love these questions. I love these questions because so many people are confused about a lot. You can read a lot of this stuff, but of course, you know, it may not always make sense to you. So I tried to make it simple, right? I tried to make it simple. So if you guys not having more questions, and if you do after the live, just put them at the bottom of the screen. I'll come back and get them. I think there's another one here. Talk a bit about growing the business. Okay. All right. So we'll talk about growing the business. Yeah. Okay. So we'll hit on that on the next topic, how to grow the business. Okay. So we'll hit on that. But first of all, I want you guys to make those goals and start checking them off. Start visiting them, okay? How are you going to market your business? How are you going to increase productivity? How are you going to increase your sales? How you're going to have a great employee or customer relations and camaraderie with them, with your employees, so that they can treat the customers and your client well. So all that part is growing the business and staying in business and being successful. So for 35 years, I just, you know, when the people come in, I'm saying, hey, let's just do this. You want to make them comfortable. And the point is they come to you because they want your professionalism, they want your expertise, and they want you to make them feel like, you know, it's all being handled. So that's one of the things that I normally do. Let's see. Probate consultant, personal budget. Okay. Do we consult on personal? Yeah, we do. Yes, Miss Otley, we do. Okay. So just give me a call at the office, 323-290-9034, guys. I think that does it for me today. Elaine Proby, CEO, PROBY'S Tax and Accounting here in Los Angeles. And we're in the same location for over 25 years here in Crenshaw Boulevard. Visit our website at PROBY'Stax.com. We have a secure portal, and you guys can upload your information. And, before I leave, July the 15th, tax deadline. I can't not say this, you guys. July the 15th is tax deadline. It has been extended from April to July. If you didn't file an extension, you must file your taxes by July the 15th. That goes for business. It goes for personal. You got to file your taxes and pay them by July 15th. Okay, so don't miss that deadline. Those of you who haven't filed your taxes yet, go to your tax person. If not, PROBY'S Tax and Accounting, you can upload your information to our secure portal at PROBY'Stax.com and get your taxes filed on time. Especially as a business person, you don't want to pay late filing fee. That's one of the things we talk about, not giving away your hard-earned dollars, right? Okay, I think that's it, Raquel. Thank you. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. I will see y'all on the next live. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Be safe. Listen to follow instructions. All right, and you guys be safe. Okay, so I'll be back. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.